Hello everyone, my name is Choping Inini. I am the project manager local project manager for PacMAN here at the University of South Pacific in Suva, Fiji. This session I will be covering synergies and the utility of the PacMAN project monitoring plan. I believe you have heard already from Dr. Brody, Dr. Sarah and Ward on the history, on the scientific background with regards to the monetary plan. I will simply very quickly try to explain some of the links at the national level and the utility of the PacMAN monitoring plan and the project as well within country and within the region. So PacMAN assists national efforts in marine invasive species management. This is something that is very much timely and is lacking in country. And PacMAN aims to deliver assistance with regards to this at national level within key ministries and agencies. It also contributes to Plan Invasive Species Database. Under the National Biodiversity Action Plan with the Ministry of Environment, there is a key goal which requires the establishment of an invasive species database, which is also under the JAP6 project with our Biosecurity Authority of Fiji. And so the PacMAN project will feed into this invasive species database, providing information, enabling the key people that will be tasked to manage this database in terms of capacity building. There is also an increased expert capacity building in country as well. There is an existing Fiji Invasive Species Task Force, which is called FIST, and it is chaired by the Ministry of Environment, and also there is a national body called the National Environment Council, which will also be the governing or the main body that the FIST answers to. And so PacMAN will actually assist FIST team members who are specialists in the marine ecosystem, marine conservation management in terms of identifying and trying to manage and providing answers to their management questions in terms of marine invasive species in country. The PacMAN also increases management, marine invasive species, alien species management, and networking through regional, and national collaborative efforts. And if you see here, you have SPREP, Global Invasive Species Database, SPC, and other closely related initiatives. For example, glow fouling, which Fiji is currently a country that is under the glow fouling program. It has a focal point here in country under the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji. There is also an increased capacity for local stakeholders to training courses. The PacMAN project delivers this through training courses that will be conducted by SPC under the OTGA network, the Ocean Teacher Global Academy. And this is coupled with capacity building for local scientists and local experts through the project itself. And so there is a lot of capacity building in country. There's hopes that these capacity building trainings, the first of which is to be conducted for invasive species under the OTGA network at SPC, will actually spill over into the regional countries. As you may well be aware by now, the project is a pilot project, and in the hopes of taking the lessons learned from here and applying these to the regional countries who will need to address this issue as well. The project assists solving problem solving through scientific backed solutions, and I mean solutions in terms of um, the management, the decision support tool that we will be providing, and the monitoring plan, which is basically a prototype monitoring plan for marine invasive species in the region. And so USP has joined with, is very fortunate to be joined here in this collaboration by IUCN under the BioDev Project 30. So the aim of that project is basically to rescue and preserve ecosystems, and that sits very well within the scope of the PacMAN objectives, as it is contributing towards the conservation of marine ecosystem in country. It will also assist conservation efforts locally within the ministries. For example, the information that we will be generated through eDNA can be utilized by local authorities, especially the Ministry of Fisheries, who conduct marine resource inventory. So it's basically information that can be adapted to fit whichever working model or whichever program that is currently happening at the moment in country. And Fiji Ports Corporation Limited, who are one of our key stakeholders for the project. The Ports Authority has a Green Ports master plan, and the project will fit into such strategic actions, such strategic plans for the Ports Authority. So the aim of this Green Port Master Plan is for the Ports Authority to become one of the cleanest and environmental friendly ports in the Pacific. And so under a few sustainability policies in the country, which requires Fiji Ports Corporation Limited to oblige, or PacMAN will assist them in meeting some of these national strategies. The other is information sharing through established systems, for example, through the National Environment Council, the Fiji Invasive Species Task Force. And there is also proposed clearinghouse for invasive species in country, which should be something that we really look forward to, and will assist the flow of information and the management plans for invasive species incursion in country. As I mentioned earlier, PacMAN is a pilot study, it's first of its kind in the South Pacific. The capacity that I mentioned initially with OTJ, Ocean Teacher Global Academy, under SPC's leadership at the moment, the rippling effect in the region is quite huge, and we hope that the project will deliver immensely into how Pacific region can manage marine invasive species better. At the technical levels, the project will contribute towards capacity building for our marine collection library experts. There's also opportunities that it provides in terms of collaborations and improvements in terms of the infrastructure or the systems and the data processing and the management of this information within the facility itself. So it does contribute as well within the curating, the standardizing of information within the data, the library itself, and so that is a huge contribution as well. I thought to put this point up. Fiji is a hub for many international NGOs. I've mentioned a few: WWF, IUCN, Conservation International, locally managed marine areas, Wildlife Conservation Society, and mini hubs for SPC and SPREP as well. And so information that we will be gathering here are baseline information that will be very much needed in terms of policy assistance, activities, research undertaken by some of these organizations. And so it does fit into a larger network of NGOs, and we really hope that it will contribute towards efforts in country as well as in the region and at the global level as well. I'm just going to bring you a few points, show you a few points here on the utility. The first is, this is a holistic conservation management. There's so many approaches here in country. Community management is quite huge as well, and we are very fortunate that our local stakeholders will be joining us here in this capacity building activity as well, which we hope will contribute towards their assistance, assisting the local communities in managing their resources. There's also a high availability of high quality data, which are standardized, verified and curated information, and which will be very easily available to migrate to other data platforms, databases for query search, and accessible openly to anyone. And this is more to do with OBIS's open data policy, which is very fortunate and very big contribution towards conservation efforts here as well as in the region. And our efforts for the project, as you may be aware, the project feeds into a lot of information that we will be giving or providing to the government and the local stakeholders. And the whole idea is to the increased effort in marine invasive species management will actually encourage the formulation of frameworks such as the NICEP, which is still in draft at this time in country, as well as other groups within the Fiji Invasive Species Task Force, for instance, or the National Environmental Council, which deal specifically with marine invasive species effects. So it is a development project, as you may be aware. We are developing tools to give to the government to assist them with their policy decisions. And I think this is a very important point. PacMAN will provide for the first time a first extensive baseline data from the marine environment through its 2-year monitoring plan, which can be used for research, for development projects, for conservation efforts, and for many other applications, for spatial planning and the like. And the utilization of this information is quite huge, and the country and the regional partners are very fortunate, will be very fortunate that this information will be produced through PacMAN. And as you may be aware, there is a decision support tool that will be produced, and I've already alluded to the point that this decision support tool will will help both management and policy decisions and implications as well. And in the hope of the work that will be conducted under PacMAN will encourage or contribute towards formulation of the necessary frameworks or policy documents that can assist with marine invasive species management in country. And point here is it provides a skeletal monitoring plan. It provides a prototype monitoring plan, in short, that will basically be available for regional countries to utilize if they choose to, provided there is uh, 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 very useful and sorry. The next point is the project will catalyze a move towards technological maturity in country. First, with the use of eDNA for the baseline information that we will be gathering and the capacity building that will be given to the local stakeholders, the scientific experts as well. In addition to this, the technological maturity also comes in terms of information sharing, information management, information data policy, data management, and all these come into mind. And this project will also contribute to such progress in country as well. And we hope that the country, the national stakeholders, and the ministries in the government will be able to establish the necessary platforms that can manage these information, curate this information, and assist them in their decision making should incursion arise in country as well. That is the end of my talk. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions during the board meeting as well on the 14th. But for now, thank you so much for your attendance, and hope we see you soon. Thank you.